Okay.
Okay. For those of you who are here for my first speech, you know that I like to swing and that love means absolutely nothing to me. So today I'm going to talk to you about, I'm going to give you three techniques that, or forming on three techniques that I hope will take your tennis game from possibly being non-existent to, hey, that person may know a thing or two about playing tennis. So before we begin, a little bit of background on the game of tennis. Now there's some controversy where tennis actually originated at. Some say it originated in England, English. Some say it was the monks. I like to think it was more along the lines of English. Basically, when I think of tennis, I usually think of grass courts, lawn tennis, and that's where it was first being played. Like I said, it was originally played on grass. However, most courts you see around here are usually hard courts. Now, according to 509rating.com, and as well as there was a 60-minute show that said that tennis is actually one of the fastest growing sports in the United States today. There are a lot of a lot of private facilities that offer around-the-clock coaching, top-of-the-line technology, as well as the best facilities that the country has to offer. However, I know you're thinking, just because tennis is a gentleman's game and it's usually associated with the rich, that doesn't mean that you and I can't play. There are a ton of public places that offer tennis courts, from neighborhoods to these recreational centers, even the schools around here, they offer it to people around. Now, I went online and I went to tennisnow.com. That's actually a pretty good website for anyone who likes tennis. And I found some stats on tennis courts. They surveyed 13,598 facilities across the country, and what they found was there's approximately 270,000 tennis courts in the United States today. 14,000 of those facilities offer private coaching as well as clinics, things for younger students. And with 150,000 of those belonging to hotels, apartments, parks, so it's very open to the public. A lot of these amenities offer outdoor and indoor courts, and so that makes tennis virtually a year-round sport as it is intended to be. Like I said, I started playing tennis when I was around 8 or 9 years old. I do not consider myself a professional, but these are a few of the basic things that I learned when I first started, and I hope that they will enhance your game if you so choose to play. So there are three things I want to talk to you about today: the grip, your positioning on the court, and as well as your swing. Now, a lot of tennis instructors, they like to instruct students to start with what is known as the continental grip. And what that grip is how you attain that grip, is act as if you're shaking hands with the racket. So you hold the racket at a vertical length like this, act like you're shaking the racket's hand. Easy, right? However, I always found that it's not entirely accurate because you really want your palm, this part of your hand, to be aligned with the panel here. So what I like to say is hold it like a hammer, which gives you a more accurate position. Now, that grip is taught because it's more of a universal grip. You can serve with it, you can hit okay forehands with it, your backhand can be iffy with it, but more often than not, that grip is mostly used. There are a few other grips that you can use as well. You can use an Eastern grip by rotating the racket counterclockwise to here, a semi-Western grip by rotating it here, or a Western grip by rotating it all the way here. And all that means is that the more extreme or Western your grip is, the more spin or more action you're going to get on the ball. However, you don't see too many pros serving with a Western grip on the tennis tour. So after you have your grip down, the next thing you really need to focus on is your court positioning. Now, I'm sure if you go outside right now and watch someone play tennis, or anyone who doesn't play tennis, they will actually be standing straight ahead at the net, the gate or the fence being like a 90-degree angle. What we call this in tennis is called flat-footed tennis, and what you end up doing is hitting a lot of scoop shots. And what a scoop shot is, you end up reaching for the ball and flicking your wrist, and the ball settles over the fence. And so to escape that, what I suggest, or what a lot of instructors suggest, is to simply rotate your shoulders this way for your forehand, or your backhand, which is simply hitting with the backside of your hand. That's why it's called a backhand. This way. What this does is allow you to prepare earlier and rotate. You can think of it as throwing a football or baseball. I'm sure we've all done that. If I were to ask you to throw a football or baseball as far as you can, I'm sure none of you would throw it like this, right? You would actually wind up and then rotate. Well, the same goes for tennis, especially on your serve and your ground strokes. Once the ball's in the air, once you toss it, it's essentially throwing a baseball or throwing a football. As simple as that. Now, there are a lot of different serves you can hit. You can hit a flat serve, a slide serve, a kick serve, an underhand serve even, but we're not going to go into all of that. Now, the last thing I want to talk to you about is your swing, which is probably the most important thing to talk about. And now, if you watch tennis, I'm sure you know there are some pros who have some beautiful strokes and some pros who have some disgusting strokes. However, they're all really good. But what they have in common is not their stroke pattern. They all have the same fundamentals, and they all incorporate those fundamentals into their personality, so to speak, comes out through their shots eventually. But the basics of this, you can choose your grip, semi-western, western, continental, wherever you so choose, is take the racket back, like so, back, and then what you want to do, as the ball's approaching, make contact at your waist level, and simply rotate the racket over your shoulder. I like to use the analogy as rotating a doorknob, so when you swing, you rotate the doorknob. So in conclusion, I hope these three basic things have helped you next time you go on the tennis court. So remember, get your grip correct, your position correct, and your swing correct, and then hopefully you'll know, or presumably know, a thing or two about tennis. Thanks.
Thank you.